This next project was definitely an experiment, but I love experimenting with Dollar Tree items. So I grabbed 2 glass vases. Next, I picked up some wood veneer from Lowe's. This is just a sheet that's like a really thin wood, and it's great for projects. People also use it to cover furniture. This was a little bit harder to work with than I thought it was going to be. I thought about wetting it, and in the end that probably would have been a better choice, but I had already stained it, so I just kind of went with it. So I started by cutting a piece that was the size of my jar, about maybe a ½ an inch longer than my jar, and I just cut it. Then I measured up 5 inches because that's how high I wanted it to be on my board. Next, I stained it with a color called Natural, which basically is just the natural wood. So it's going to bring out the color in whatever wood you already have. I like this when I'm just really wanting a more natural look. I learned a lot of lessons from this next part. So I put E6000 on the whole entire piece and I wrapped it around. I realized to hold it in place, I was going to have something that can really wrap it. So the best technique I came up with was using painter's tape. So I just pulled the painter's tape to make it hold down in place. That gave the E6000 time to cure overnight. When I came back in and removed the tape, there were some areas on the back that still were not laying down flat. So I added in more E6000 and taped it back down again. Now I tried using hot glue and that didn't hold it. So you're gonna have to use E6000 if you do this technique. And after drying 2 nights, it worked out pretty well. Then I just came in and removed my tape on, I guess, the 3rd day. I added in some rocks at the bottom and some candles to finish it off, and here's a look at how it turned out. Sometimes I just come across items at Dollar Tree and I know that I have to do a project with it, but I'm not exactly sure like what I'm gonna do. Well, that happened when I picked up this little blue floral placemat. I just thought it was really pretty and I knew I could come up with an idea for it. So I also grabbed a container that came out around Christmas, but they have similar things like this in their party section that I was going to wrap with this placemat. Now, the placemat did not fit all the way around, so I had to cut off a little section and hot glue that to the back, and then I tucked it in and hot glued it in place. Then I began wrapping the placemat around using like the nice folded section at the bottom. And then I hot glued the inside and tucked it into place. Now I actually picked up 2 placemats, and I probably could have done this out of 1 if I would have been thinking, but I took my container and made a circle at the bottom, cut that out, and then I used that and hot glued it to the bottom just so the bottom looked finished. Now you could do anything with this. I added in some books and here's how it turned out. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.